Now we get four big things when we use the database abstraction layer, some of which have already been referenced earlier on in the video. One of which is that by structuring our query this way, we enable the support of multiple database types. So this query should work for MySQL and Postgres and any other database that has the correct plugin for Drupal. The second benefit comes from using dynamic queries, which is that we can change the structure of the query easily before it gets executed, and we can even pass the query off to other modules to have a say in the structure of that query before it runs. The third thing is kind of little, but it's still important. You notice here that we're passing the table name through DB insert, and in this query up here, our original query, we're just inserting the table name directly into the query. The problem with this is that it's possible that a user might have installed Drupal on a database that's being used by other applications, and they may have added a prefix to the database tables during the installation process. So this Trails history, which is the default name of this table, could actually be Drupal_Trails history, or any other prefix that the user selects. So we don't know the full name of the table, we just know how it ends. We don't have to worry about that when we use the abstraction layer, so we can just pass it the base name of the table and the API will take care of the rest. One more big thing that we get from using the database API versus rolling our own queries is security. So if you look at our initial query here, where we're using MySQL query, in one of our lines, we're taking the path column and we're assigning it a value directly from the get variable, and this is coming from our URL. Now normally we'll know what the Q variable is. It will be the path to the right of our domain name, which is just the current path that the user is on. But because the URL can be manipulated by the user, this could actually contain a variety of data. The problem occurs when a user with malicious intent creates a value inside of this variable that ends one query and begins a new query that they can manipulate as they see fit. So this is called SQL injection. And with that query, they can do whatever you could do in the database. And while there's a variety of techniques that you can use in order to make sure that your query is secure, you don't have to worry about any of that if you use the database abstraction layer, and the chances of making a mistake once in a while are reduced tremendously. So you see here, we're assigning the path column in our DB insert query a value directly from the query string, and that's okay, because all of the sanitization will go on behind the scenes. Okay, now this example was a little complex because we were using a dynamic query. In our next example, we're going to be using a static query, which is a whole lot simpler.